Hello guys, welcome back to my channel today. We have a problem on bearing and distance to solve again today. So let's go through the question. X, Y, and Z are three villages which are situated such that the bearing of Y from Z is 150 degrees and the bearing of Z from Y is 0.55 degrees. Then the distance XY is 96 kilometers and the distance YZ is 120 kilometers. Then we are asked to calculate the distance of Z from X and then we correct it to what nearest meter, that is the nearest whole number. Then find the bearing of X from Z, correct to the next or nearest 0.1 degree, that is 1 decimal place. All right, let's see how we solve this problem. So the first thing we do is to sketch the diagram properly. All right, so let's go. The first position we have to get is X because Y is 150 kilometers degrees from, take note of the word, from X. So we are getting X first. So let this be the cardinal point of X, then locate 150 degrees, which is the second quadrant. So this is second quadrant. 150 degree will be here, right? So to go to the position Y, we must move on this line because every movement has to start from the north pole. So we start moving from here, turn 150 degrees before we start moving down to the position of Y. So this is my X and this has to be my what? Y. This is the north pole. So here is 150 degrees. Then the bearing of Z from Y. Now, y has to be the starting point at this time around because Z is situated at 55 degrees of Y. Take note of the word from Y, okay? So we have to move from Y at a particular degree, which is 55. So we move, let's assume this is we move from the North Pole, turn 55 degrees, all right? Then we move up. Now let's check the distances. YZ is 120 kilometers. This is YZ. And then XY 96 kilometers. This is XY. So this line will be longer than this line since here is 120 degrees. So I'll take it up a little more. All right. Okay, so this becomes my Z. So we can complete the diagram to form a triangle so that we'll be able to solve. So remember that here is 55 degrees. So let's label the distance. Here is 120 kilometers and here is 96 kilometers. Then the question says calculate the distance Z from X. This is our X and this is our Z. So we are looking for this distance. So let's label it XZ. That's the distance we are looking for, right? So we need the angle at this position. That is the angle at this position in order to solve this diagram. So how do we get the total angle at this position? I will need to get the angle here. We already have here as 55. So let me get the angle that should be in here. Let me label it theta. So to get this angle, I will be needing the angle here better. If I get the angle here, it is alternate to this angle. Observe that this is parallel to this line. So if I get the angle here, it is alternate to the angle here. All right, so let me get the angle here. Since here is 150 degrees, I will get the angle here by saying 180 minus 150. That is what? 30 degrees. So here is my 30 degrees. And having gotten here as 30 degrees, alternate to this angle here is 30 degrees. Now, adding the both angles will give us 85. So the included angle in this diagram is 85. Now, I'll be using cosine rule to resolve for the length of xz because I have two given sides and included angle. Whenever I have included angle, use cosine rule to resolve the triangle. And what does cosine rule state? Cosine rule states that a squared is equal to b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. So let me substitute as usual the letterings on this diagram to resolve for this length. So this length we are looking for is this. So we say xz raised to the power of 2 is equal to b squared. Let's take this as b squared, which is 96 squared, plus c squared, which is 120 squared, minus 2bc. Okay, the two numbers are b and c. So we have 2 into 96 into 120, then cos a, let me write it here, because our a is the angle at this position, the included angle, which is 85. All right, let's simplify. Point your calculator here. So 96 squared will give us 9,216 plus 120 squared. That will give us 14,400 minus 2 times 96 times 120. That is giving us 23,040 times cos is multiplying these two guys, right? This is minus, so this cos 85 is multiplying here. So let me press cos 85. Cos 85, that is giving us, let me write it under 0.08716. So let's simplify further. Let me add there. 9216 plus 14,400, that is giving me 23,616 minus, let's multiply here, 23040 times 0.08716. That gives me 2008.1664. Then we subtract 23616 and as the answer, that is giving me 21,607.8336. Then remember that we are looking for this distance. Look here. So I'll bring it down. Xz raised to the power of 2 is equal to this. So to get xz, we take the square root of the both sides, right? If I take the square root of the both sides, I will have the distance. Now taking square root will cancel square. So I have distance xz equal to, then we take square root of the answer. We have 146.9960326. Now remember the question says to the nearest meter. So nearest meter means taking the whole number only, taking the whole numbers only. But 9 is more than 5, so we are going to round this up. So finally the answer will be given as 147 meter. 147 meters. So we've got the distance of xz, which is 147 meter. All right. Okay, the question is in kilometer. So this has to be nearest kilometer, right? Nearest kilometer. So let's solve the second part of the question. Find the bearing of x from z. Now this is the position of x. So we are going to find the bearing of this x from this guy, z. So what angle are we looking for? The angle that will turn from here until we get to this line, right? Once we have gotten to this line, we now start moving to x. So here is already 90. Here is already 90. Then here is already 55 because 55 is alternate to this 55. So what we are going to do is to find this angle inside here. If I could find the angle inside here, then I will add it up to 1, 2, 3. We get the total angle we move to come to this position. Okay, so to find this angle, I'm going to make use of the opposite side of this angle, as well as the angle that has a given side. This is the angle at this position, and the side is present. And this is the angle I'm looking for, and the side facing it is present. So when you have condition like that, we use sine rule, okay? We use sine rule. Now we're going to be solving small letter z, since here is z, the side facing it is small letter z. So small letter z over sine capital letter Z, here is Z, will be equal to, here is Y. So I'll use small letter y over sine capital letter Y. The small letter is the opposite side, the capital letter is the angle present. So the opposite side is 147. I'll have 147 over sine capital letter Z, that is the angle here, sine 85. Then small letter y, 96 over sine y. We don't know the angle here, that is the angle we are looking for. So we can actually put theta. So to solve further, we are going to make sine theta the subject formula. So cross multiplying, if I cross multiply, this multiplies this and this multiplies this. Then we also divide by 147 since it is the coefficient of sine. This times this becomes the coefficient. So we are going to have sine theta. You know how to cross multiply, right? Perform it. So we have sine theta equals 96 sine 85 over this guy, 147. So let's point our calculator completely. 96 sine 85 equal to then the answer divided by 147. I have sine theta to be equal to 0.650576,129. So at this point, to get our theta, we take the inverse or the reciprocal of sine. You say sine inverse of the same number, 0.650576,129. All right. So I would simply say press shift and sign, then press all the numbers. We have theta to be 40.58505365. Now remember, this is our theta. We have gotten the angle inside here. So how do we now get the total angle from here around to this point? We add 90 plus 90 plus 55 plus theta. So that would be, let me add everything. Plus 55 plus our answer. So we have the angle around the point as 275.5850,537. Now remember that we are asked to approximate to the nearest 0.1 degree, that is 1 decimal place. So I'm going to take 275.6, round up 8 into 5, you have 6. So this becomes the bearing of x from Z. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Please do well to like this video, share it to your friends as well, and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting math tutorials. Catch you up in my next video. Bye.